Hey everybody, it's Luke with Figure Me Out, and today we've got the Marvel Legends 2-pack of Hela and Skurge from the Thor Ragnarok movie. And looking at the packaging, here's the front. Taking a look at the side, we've got a great picture of Hela with some nice smoke at the bottom. That's really cool. On the other side, we've got a nice picture of Skurge. Same thing, a little smoke coming up. Looks really great. On the back, we've got this awesome poster from Thor Ragnarok. We've got a read-up on Skurge, a read-up on Hela. If you want to read those, go ahead and give it a pause now. Otherwise, looking at the rest of the packaging, on the top we've got the Marvel logo, and on the bottom we've got some words and a sticker from GameStop, which is where I got these at. Let's go ahead and take these guys out of the box and take them over to the light box for a closer look. So here we are in the light box, and we'll go ahead and talk about some accessories. First off, we have some trigger holding hands for Executioner, and those look really good. Guns fit in there really well, so that's nice. Speaking of guns, we also have Des and Troy. I think this one's Des and this one's Troy. Or is it the other way around? This is Des. Yeah, this is Des. Doesn't matter. Anyway, but yeah, those are really, really good. It's a, looks like an M16 type of rifle. All the way from Texas, I think is what he said. Because when you put them together, they destroy. So yeah, those look really good. No pearl paint or anything on them, but you know, they're black and that's kind of how they're supposed to be. So that looks good. Next, we have the axe that came with Executioner, and that looks really good. It's got a nice nice sculpt to it. No real paint to speak of, but it is, you know, a finely detailed axe. If you want to throw some highlights on there on the edge of the blades, probably make it pop even more. Talking about Executioner here, wow, that is good. That is really, really good. I think this may be the most accurate from screen to action figure Marvel Legend that we have ever gotten. And the most detailed too. I mean, this thing is just, the paint on this is great. The detail is great. Like, this wasn't even that big of a character. I mean, is it Carl Urban? Is that guy's name? Anyway, but just fantastic sculpt. Looks great. These do come off, by the way, just a little side note. They plug in there. But the gauntlets look good, the hands. And this is all unique sculpting, guys. This is, I mean, top to bottom. None of this is used anywhere else that I know of, and it all looks great. Look at the legs, they even painted the boots. I mean, good night. A little bit of paint missing on the back there, but still, you cannot, look, they painted the back there. They painted, you know, the back of these pauldrons. I mean, you cannot beat this. Peg holes at the bottom, and that face, that 3D printing they're doing on that face, that looks just like him, doesn't it? Man, that's good. There's even some texture. I don't know if you can see it or not, but in his head thing, his little tattoos or whatever you want to call those, they're even textured. And he's got the nice little scar there. Great, great face sculpt. Oh my goodness, this is just a fantastic figure. Let's take a look at Hela and her stuff now. Hela came with a little flame effect, so I think we've seen that before in a couple things. Maybe the Magic figure, I think, came with something like that. And then we do get a couple alternate heads for her. We get this one with the hair down, and then this one with the hair in the face, and both of those look really great. I kind of like the sleek hair a little bit better, but the hair in the face, you know, it's that iconic one where she catches the hammer, and it just looks really good. One thing to note on these is that there is some like slight veining in her forehead, and it's like a green kind of color. I don't know if you can see that very well on film, but it adds a little bit to it. And even on this one, if you pull the hair back behind the hair there's that same veining kind of effect, and it just looks so good. It just kind of adds a little bit of extra evil to it. I don't know, it's great. It just looks awesome. Talking about the other accessory she came with, might be my favorite accessory in the pack, but it's the hand grabbing the hammer, which again, really, really cool. Very iconic scene from that movie. And you can see she's kind of crushing the hammer. It's got some nice, you know, little lines in it where it's being smashed. She's got a good grip on it there. Oh, I think I got a little paint off of it. That's alright, don't know where that came from. Anyway, but looking at the fingernails are painted even. That looks great. Just so good. Mjolnir getting snatched up. I even like the swirly marbling kind of effect the plastic is doing. I think that adds. It really makes Mjolnir look like it's made out of forged steel, which is, you know, pretty cool. Talking about Hela herself, and you know, this we've seen a lot of this body before with the previous release of Hela, but the head I think is new actually. I think that this is a different face than the previous one. I think that the eye cover was down on the last one, but she's got that mean look on her face. I love this helmet thing. It just looks really, you know, really cool. The way it branches out, it looks like crazy horns or something. That looks fantastic. The cape is, you know, very nice. It's got this shiny up here. It's got this really reflective silver. I'm going to go ahead and take that off though, so we can see the rest of the figure. And it is removable. It does have some nice wrinkling in it. No real paint on that though. But looking at the rest of the figure, and yeah, you know, the shoulders on these were kind of weird, but it is what it is. They function fine. But yeah, painted all the way, front and back. Really cool design on that. Even like her back has a cool design. Really unique. I thought we might see that sculpt again with the first release of Hela, but then whenever, you know, spoiler alert, whenever she died in Ragnarok or whatever, supposedly died, I was like, oh well, I guess they're done with that. But here we are again, and I'm not unhappy to have this. I understand Marvel reuses a lot of stuff, or Hasbro reuses a lot of stuff with their Marvel Legends, but hey, whatever. It's a cool figure. I'm not gonna complain. But yeah, legs painted really well, really cool there. Even the top of the shoes painted, so that's cool. Peg holes at the bottom, and anyway, just great overall. Really good, you know, head sculpts on all these. Let's go ahead and take them out and talk about some articulation, shall we? So talking about articulation, and first off, I had remembered that I had just watched this movie, and that's supposed to be the Eternal Flame, I think. And that looks awesome like that. So anyway, we'll probably have some more pictures at the end of that. But talking about articulation, let's go over Hela first, because she's got a little bit of new stuff with that head. She can look up, you know, kind of. The hair does get in the way just a bit. Looks like the girl from The Ring there. She looks down a little bit. She does go side to side, but it is a little bit inhibited by that hair, but you can get it, and it just kind of looks weird. And there is quite a bit of pivot in this neck. And same thing with both the other heads. The one with the longer hair going down the back inhibits it the most. But anyway, the shoulders, they go in all the way. You got to kind of tuck as you go in, because there's that weird ridge right there that you can see. But if you tuck and you go in, you can get right at about 90. Full rotation, no bicep. There's a single jointed elbow that rotates. Hands are hinged to go down, up, and they have a full rotation as well. This hand does go back and forward, and then the hammer holding hand goes side to side like that. So at the waist, she crunches forward ever so slightly. She crunches back fairly well. You do get a little side to side because it's one of those torso pieces, and you get rotation there as well, but not all the way around. It doesn't feel like. At the hips, they go out pretty far. They kick forward somewhat. They go back just the slightest amount. There is an upper thigh swivel. There is a double jointed knee that comes in pretty much all the way. And then at the feet, they are hinged down, up, and you do get crazy ankle rocker pivot. Now as far as Mr. Executioner here goes, kind of same thing. He can look up really, really well. He can look like he's just doing like a face forward, you know, nosedive type thing. Looks down pretty good, buries his chin in his chest. No, couldn't ask for more. Goes left, goes right, gets just the slightest amount of tilt, but there is some tilt in there. At the shoulders, they go up about that far. Like I said, these are removable, so you can see it kind of comes up right there. But I'm going to go ahead and plug that back in. There's a bicep swivel. There's a double jointed elbow that comes in that far. The wrists are hinged to go down, up, and they have a full rotation. Same thing with the trigger hands. They also go left and right, not up and down, which I would have preferred up and down, but hey, not going to complain too much on this guy. Crunches forward just a little bit, crunches back a little bit better. You do get a little bit of gapping whenever you crunch back, and you can actually kind of see up in there whenever you do that, so a little weird. Does go side to side really well, and there's a rotation right there. No rotation at the waist. Legs go out that far. He can kick forward pretty good. He can kick back, not really. Got an upper thigh swivel, got a double jointed knee that comes in really good, and then at the ankles, they go down, they go up, and there is a crazy ankle rocker pivot. For a size comparison, here they are next to a couple of the other Ragnarok figures. We've got Hela there on the left, the first release, and then Loki on the right. And just kind of looking at these two side by side, you can really tell how different they are. I do like the different hair sculpts, that they didn't reuse that. That's awesome that they did that. The other thing is I wanted to pull out the old heads. So you can kind of see on those. On this first one, this is the old one. She's got that mask kind of down, and then on the new one, she's got the face exposed. So I think that looks a lot better. Also, this one's kind of like a greenish sort of color, like a forest, like really dark green, whereas this one's black. So that's kind of interesting. Also on the capes, there's a lot of difference. On the old cape, it's very, you know, kind of a matte, like dull, kind of forest green color. On the new one, it's got that black accent at the top, which looks really good. And on top of that, it's very, very shiny. Just like in her costume here, you can see this one's a lot shinier than this one, and we'll have some more comparisons at the end there. But this one's definitely more film accurate, having just watched the film moments ago, actually. And here they are next to a couple of other figures from Ragnarok. We've got the Gladiator Hulk there on the right, which looks really good, and then the Thor figure on the left. And I think they scale just great with these ones. Very, very in scale, very good, and they all look awesome together on the shelf. And for one more Hulk comparison, there's the in-game Hulk, and I like that because at the end of Ragnarok, in case you forgot, Hulk didn't have the war paint on anymore, so this is a little bit more accurate, looks really good, and just, again, awesome seeing all three of these together. For another comparison, here they are against the Marvel Legends Bucky Cat body on the Union Jack figure, and then the Hyperion body on Captain Britain there, and definitely a little bit taller than the Bucky Cap, a little bit smaller than the Hyperion, but I think that's accurate, somewhere in the middle. Looks great. And finally, for a comparison across a couple different lines, we've got the Mezco 112th Iron Man, and then the McFarlane Fortnite Skull Trooper. So that's them. That's the Marvel Legends Ragnarok 2-pack with Hela and Executioner, and or Skurge, if you want to call him that. And I love this pack. I think this is really great. If you missed out on that first Hela, here's your chance to get one, and in my opinion, a better one. You don't get the sword, but other than that, pretty great. The Eternal Flame's cool. The hammer effect is just, I mean, it's just awesome. I'll have some pictures here at the end, but it just looks great. And then Executioner, Skurge, I think that might be, he's in the running for Best Figure of the Year. I mean, he's just all new sculpt, looks fantastic. What are they going to reuse this on? And it looks so good, and it's painted so good. That's why I love these 2-packs. You know, you take out the Build-A-Figure piece, and you can just throw a little bit more money at the actual execution of the figure itself, and it works for me. It really works for me. I think these might be my favorite thing that Marvel is putting out right now. But anyway, what do you guys think? Leave me a comment, hit like, hit subscribe, check out my other videos, check me out over on Instagram, Luke_figuremeout at Instagram.com. And, you know, if you see these, probably worth picking up. I know these are going to go right back on my coffee table. I may watch Ragnarok one more time. But in the meantime, happy collecting.